Sir David Attenborough recently discovered that the fossilized skull of a giant plesiosaur had been found on the Jurassic coast in Dorset. The historian was overjoyed, yet posed the all-important question: if the plesiosaur fought with a T-Rex, who would win? And it seems like the answer would be the plesiosaur, which looks like a cross between a giant crocodile and a dolphin and was the biggest predator of the seas 153 million years ago, when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, reports the Mirror. The plesiosaur was reportedly the length of a bus and had 90 razor-sharp teeth up to 6 inches long. Sir David, 97, said, "It's bigger than the Tyrannosaurus rex by a long way, so I asked this schoolboy question." The icon's burning question was answered by Dr. Andre Rowe, of the University of Bristol, who revealed the discovery of an intact skull of a plesiosaur was a 1 in a billion find and that he believed the plesiosaur would also triumph. Paleobiologist Professor Emily Rayfield agreed, saying the marine reptile had a bite so devastating it had twice the power of a great white shark. She said, "I'm pretty sure it could bite through a car." The discovery was made by fossil enthusiast Phil Jacobs as he was walking on a beach near Kimmeridge in Dorset when he spotted the tip of the plesiosaur's snout in the sand. He quickly made a call to his friend, local paleontologist Steve Etches, who realized it had fallen from the cliffs, which would have been the clay seabed 150 million years ago. Using a drone he confirmed that the rest of the skull was still in there. Steve said, "Phil thought it was a bit of wood at first. It was too heavy for him to carry in his rucksack, so we went down the very next day. We made a stretcher out of a ladder to strap it on with a bit of board and carry it back about a mile, which was extremely arduous, I can tell you." Another fossil enthusiast, Christ Moore, called his longtime friend Sir David, who got the BBC's Natural History Unit on board. Within a matter of 6 days, a film crew was at the site as Steve and the team set about the extraordinarily difficult task of extracting the skull from the cliff face, 49 feet from the top and 42 feet from the bottom. The excavation was performed whilst hanging on ropes and filmed for a BBC documentary which will be shown on New Year's Day, and was described as frustrating and difficult. However, after 3 weeks, they managed to get the skull into a frame specially built by local farmer Rob Verncombe. Afterwards, Steve said, "We never thought we'd get it, to be honest with you. It's a dream come true. 3 weeks ago it was buried in a cliff face. We've found the top food chain predator, and this will be one of the best ever found." In the documentary, he tells Sir David, who arrived to witness their work, that getting the skull out was quite an emotional moment. The veteran broadcaster was hugely impressed, calling their achievements a triumph and a sensation. The skull will go on display next year at the Etches collection, in Kimmeridge, which has 3,000 fossils from the area. Steve has spent months cleaning the skull and putting it together so visitors can see what it would have looked like. He described it as the biggest jigsaw going. Using air abrasion, he separated the prehistoric bone from the clay which had encased it for millions of years. He said, "Every part of this is really, really stressful. But this is a man who knows what he is doing and who is blessed with an abundance of patience." Over the months, he was able to reconstruct the enormous skull. "I was lucky enough to go to see the skull when it was finished this summer, and Steve showed me the spot where it was found. It had been kept secret for more than a year while Steve got the skull ready." Once completed, more experts were brought in with high-tech equipment to carry out scans and X-rays. Dr. Judith Sassoon said it was an astonishing specimen, while Sir David, a lifelong fossil collector, said it took his breath away. Dr. Sassoon said the plesiosaur was different to others that had been found, leading her to believe it was a new species, outside of the 8 already identified, which Sir David found mind-blowing. Further tests were performed to determine how this enormous carnivorous creature moved through the water. It used its 4 flippers-like wings to achieve speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, which helped it hunt dolphin-like creatures called ichthyosaurs. Sir David said, "Here is a thing the size of a London bus, moving faster than anything you can imagine of that size, with huge jaws, armed with these extraordinary teeth, which was able to tear apart the ichthyosaurs. There's no creature alive today in any way comparable to this enormous carnivorous giant. That's what sets your imagination alight." At the end of the program, CGI was used to recreate the most formidable ocean predator. Joking, Sir David said, "I would like to meet one, but only if it was on the other side of the river." Steve, a former plumber who has collected fossils for 40 years, reckons the rest of the plesiosaur is still within the cliff. He said, "I know it's there. So does he plan on getting it out?" He said, "You've got to take 15 meters of cliff off." The landowner's happy to do it. He would make a special space for it in his museum. He said, "We'd build an extension, and have the predator gallery, yeah." That's wishful thinking. Attenborough and the Giant Sea Monster is on BBC One at 8 p.m. on New Year's Day.